Greetings and welcome. I'm Rebecca Carner, Biofield tuner. This is my first YouTube Live of 2026. Welcome. It's going to be a big year and it's going to be a big new era. Here we go. My topic today, I intentionally put no apostrophes in the title. It's called The Waters Work. And it's not the, waters plural possessive. It's not the water possessive. It's a play on words because it's all of those things. I have been contemplating and receiving a lot of information in about the past year and a half around the nature of water. What is water? We call it a substance, we call it matter. It's, quote, one of the elements. A remarkable woman, Veda Austin, Veda Austin, is doing some really remarkable work with water, and her considerations have really impacted me because when I hear them, they feel holistically more appropriate than other concepts of water. And it's on some of those themes and then some of the information that I have received and listened to and been in discussion around since I came across Veda Austin's work that are really propelling this contemplation and this tuning today. I'd like us all to just arrive here, and I'm going to start with just a little bit of sound. I'll start with my 174 hertz, and let's all just take a nice big deep arrival community breath together. Maybe even if you want to start or really notice you're empty, really empty. And then let the inhale come. And just be present and be in contemplation and awareness of your waters, the waters in your body, the vapor in the air that you're inhaling. And join me in this collective field of contemplation and appreciation on the waters. It was really in a video put out by Veda Austin that I really learned the history of even what we as I am American, what we as Americans call water, that for apparently a huge swath of history, it was always considered in plural, the waters, the sacred waters, the primordial waters. And for instance, in the UK, when a woman goes into labor, they still say her waters broke. Whereas in America, we've even foreshortened that into your water breaks, or I'm going to break your waters, the doctor might say. And that is a sort of ensmallening of not only how we say the word, but then it really limits and constricts the consideration of waters and the waters. And the waters as a cosmological circulatory system and the substrate medium, right? The fundamental medium that all is carried in. All information, all substance, all life. Again, it was Veda Austin's work that first postulated to me that water is in fact all of the elements. And when you think about it, anything that burns, right? Anything that makes fire, including magma, it deposited there via primordial ooze. Magma in, is or minerals and rock under extreme duress and heat and pressure, that it arrived there by the forming of waters. And again, right, earth, loamy earth, even sandy soil was arrived there by water, silica, the sand, all of that, salts, all it arrives. What precursed it were the waters. And air, air is interesting because, all right, so I was born and raised in Louisiana and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. It's humid down here, y'all. Now, there are such things as zero humidity environments, but let me tell you, if you've been in one, they are not conducive to life. And for instance, the little tiny hairs in our noses and stuff slow down the passage of air so that the vapor and mucous membranes in our sinuses can moisten the water, I mean, the air, as it comes into our individual microcosm of a circulatory system, right? And then the free electron, the bit of light that is available for the uptake, gets exchanged in our pulmonary system and literally changes the color of our blood, which is our waters, with light. And then that gets circulated and deposited amongst our cells. Lymph, that what takes waste away, is a different format of our waters. Birth, life, gestation, all in waters. Nancy Rebecca put out a video recently wherein she talked about how space dust, for instance, the plasmic discharge from 3I Atlas, absolutely crosses the barrier of our earthly atmosphere, is then picked up by atmospheric waters, which, if you've ever had the delight of watching some of those Planet Earth videos, you know that the cyclical precipitation and oceanic and fresh river water and it's and the I can't remember the name of the sort of honeycomb type watery substance under earth formations, right? That is all part of just this earth's circulatory system. It's all waters, and all of those things then create and support all of the other elements, all life function, also all sort of decay. And if anybody, not saying that it's, that I've ever done it, but if you've ever left vegetables in your refrigerator too long, they return to water, right? So, like, the decay and the finality of a thing gets kind of gooey. You return to the waters. There's also work and much philosophy and consideration that water holds all memory. While I, as an individual, cannot prove that, when I hear that, it it hits, right? It totally resonates. I think that's right. I don't think that feels right. The waters in me see and recognize the waters in that idea. And in my contemplations this morning, I've been contemplating this topic for days in preparation for this YouTube live. But one of my contemplations this morning, I realized water is the ultimate time machine. If, as some of the philosophizers and prophesizers are correct, and if 2026 and onward mark a time when our an era when our understanding and experiencing of time shifts, absolutely water is going to inform that and help us understand that. The other concept, I've heard a lot of, quote, healing water and, quote, blessing water. And I feel like I know what people mean when they say that, and it's a wonderful idea. And if you pray over your waters or quote, bless your waters, go for it. But one of my considerations of quote, blessing waters is that that's incredibly hubristic. Who are we, the product thereof, to think, ah, yes, let me impose myself in some sort of benefactory way upon the waters every day. What like that? That seems a little bass backwards, as they say here in the South. And so the concept, the word, when I was thinking, okay, if you don't, if one wanted to approach this contemplation, and then one is then ignited to approach the waters in your daily life with deeper interest and intrigue and engagement, but also a fair amount of humility. I was thinking, what if we said grace? And by saying grace, I don't mean bestowing grace, but in fact, sort of reverently exchanging grace, and what if saying grace were the thanking of the receiving of grace? The other thing, I don't want to talk too long because I do want to tune a little bit and put some sound over all of this language that I'm playing with. The other thing about water is that we are but one point of the circulatory system that is galactic waters. And in that way, when we take in water, we receive all what has informed it prior to its arrival into our zone. And then in so doing, we release it. Anybody who's been on dialysis knows that you can't live very long without then receiving and then releasing, right? Flushing the waters. And when we do that, we also have then imprinted and exchanged, right? We've received and have given the waters parts of our cosmology. And I can't remember if I've ever said it in a video, but there is this whole concept around peeing outdoors, in that when a human just urinates outside, that you are having a direct sort of electrical and electromagnetic and also now consciousness exchange with the actual proximate earth that you were on in that moment, as opposed to this weird sort of removed way with, don't get me wrong, I love my sink and my showers and my toilet, but in this incredibly sort of Western and first world way, we've become really removed from the direct organic exchange between our biology and the biology of the earth around us through the immediate and proximate exchange of the all the information in our waters. If one drank local spring water and then sort of urinated in a more organic, composty kind of a way, it would keep the information circuit proximate and really holistic and kind of Ayurvedic in that way. Um, and so, with that, I would I'd like to just drop into connection with waters. I guess as everybody joins me, whether you feel like there is the release of some heat around this, right? Yeah, discharging heat through the waters. I can't quantify why I think this, but the first thing that is coming to mind is that our sort of resident stress level would really go down if if we all peed outdoors a little bit more. Like the next time you're on a hike, tuck behind a tree or a bush, right? If you have the luxury of living on enough land that you have a private backyard or a green space, you know, go for it, right? Um, yeah, okay. In that way, right? Consciousness. If water, if anybody is familiar with the telepathy tapes, Veda Austin has also worked with some of the self-named autists that were in that program as well as others. And the way that they have communicated their experience of the waters to her is that they are, I guess this is my sort of interpretation, this is my poetry of my takeaway from what they communicated with her, is that water is the slow moving, earthbound representation of the first form and conduit that all consciousness and all information takes. Water is the most palpable, and it's funny because even at that, unless you freeze water, you can't even grasp it, but the most graspable concept that we can wrap our head around of what the presence and the ubiquity of, of consciousness is, that's water. And the sort of humble appreciation and awe and reverence and gratitude, and then in so doing, when we quote say grace, where there is grace, there is understanding and love. And if in so doing, in so transmitting this concept of grace towards the waters, whether you sort of focus on the water coming out of your faucet, or the water in the land around you, or the waters in your blood, or in your tears, whatever the easiest, most approachable and accessible body of water that you can conceive of right now, if you imbue that with the idea of grace, then it informs it with love and understanding. All waters are connected. All waters are connected. Even in my exhale, the vapor in my breath, right, informs all of the waters throughout the whole galaxy. The waters that we are drinking today, I am filming this on January 14th, 2026. And the waters, the undulating, supple, and pliant substance that is the waters on Earth right now, have been informed recently by an interstellar visitor, and we have access to ancient and to us in this now moment, heretofore unavailable, so therefore new, although also ancient and eternal information, such that it was deposited by 3i Atlas. Imagine that we are artists who got a brand new color, not a remixing of the CYM scale, but something new as yet unseen for us in this now moment. This is true. I could weep at the profundity of this, you guys. May the waters in my body see and honor the waters in Mother Earth's body, and therefore in all the plants and animals and rocks and minerals. May I, in humble grace, walk among so as to deeper understand and share and collaborate and co-create. May the waters that I receive sustain and nourish me, inform me with expansion, broaden my capacity to work with all that is. And may the exchange and the momentary ride of the passing waters through me and amongst us all, amongst all that is, be activated, be refined by the technology that is us, right? Not by a water treatment plant. No, friends. By the systemic technology that is organic life. We are starseed. Illuminating the passages of the gift of waters. Why do God, doesn't that sound great? Why do some days feel so dug hard? Why are things so right? I know it's all part of it. I know it is. I know these expressions. This is how this is how we inform some of the more dissonant and painful expressions that are part of it all. They're right on time and they're part of it all. And I don't say that lightly. But if ever one is overwhelmed with what can you do, be in grace with your waters. Be in reciprocal, balanced exchange of give and take. In your most proximate expression, water holds all memories, and that is memories in the future as well as memories in the past. We can beneficially affect circular time, even our own lived history. We can. By being in grace in our waters. Nice. You know, it's so funny. Humans are so obsessed, quote, with the speed of light, right? Because to us, it moves really fast. But if water holds all information and all memories, future and past, then in that quantum sympathetic resonance, that immediate information exchange, water would be the medium, not light. Light's too slow. I'm not putting down light. Okay, I'm not getting some kind of way with light. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Mitochondrial function, healing, life, alchemy happens with water. With that, I am just about going to wrap this up. Last couple of videos, I've been really ending with my 417 and 528 harmonics. So I'm gonna harmonize. I'm gonna harmonize my waters right here in my studio. And in so doing, whoever resonates with this, harmonize yours. And that much harmony just got created in the galactic circulatory system. Aho, 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 aho. It's a privilege and an honor. Honor the waters. Light and water lighting the waters, enlightening the waters of our soul, of our world, of our cosmos. Humbly receiving and giving our best. All right, friends, thanks. Thanks for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed our The Waters work contemplation today. This was really good. I'm here. I'm here all year. I'm here all the time. RebeccaCarner.com. Please like, subscribe, share. I have really over 150 videos. Anyone that feels called, that you feel called to listen to, is the tuning for you. It's right on time, regardless of when it was made. If you need support, please reach out. I'm here. I'm here. I love you. The waters in me see and co-inform and are so grateful for the waters in you and around us all. All my love. Until the next time.